Picture this: a crowded room, everyone speaking, everyone trying to be heard, voices clashing, opinions competing, energy chaotic. But then someone walks in, he says nothing, and yet every head turns, every voice lowers, every movement subtly adjusts to his presence. That is real power, not the kind that shouts or demands attention, but the kind that commands it without effort, the kind that bends the atmosphere, shapes behavior, and asserts dominance through silence alone. Machiavelli understood this type of power better than anyone. He saw that the rulers who lasted longest were not those who spoke loudest, but those who carried an aura, an invisible gravity that made others instinctively defer. They did not argue. They didn't plead to be understood. They understood themselves, because silence is not weakness, it's control. It's the ability to restrain impulse, to observe while others expose themselves, to create tension so precise that people fill it with their own fear, guilt, or respect. The untrained mind rushes to speak. The powerful one waits, because he knows silence forces others to reveal themselves. When you speak, you give away information, your intentions, your emotions, your insecurity. When you stay silent, people project their fears, their expectations, their desire for approval onto you. They begin to interpret your quiet as confidence or danger. Either way, they give you power. Machiavelli's secret was simple. Control is perception. If people believe you hold power, you do. And nothing creates that belief faster than restraint. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to control any room without a single word. You'll learn how presence replaces persuasion, how silence bends attention, and how composure becomes command. Because the world doesn't follow the loudest, it follows the most certain. And certainty, when carried in silence, becomes magnetic. Let's begin. Before you can control a room, you must first control yourself. Presence begins long before you enter. It starts with stillness, posture, and intention. Most people walk into a space trying to fit in. They rush to greet, to speak, to blend. The powerful man does the opposite. He enters as if he owns the air itself. He does not seek acknowledgement. He assumes it. Machiavelli observed that authority is rarely granted, it is recognized. People respond not to what you say, but to what you project. And projection is not noise. It's control of space, of rhythm, of silence. When you walk into a room, your energy announces you before your mouth opens. If that energy is scattered, desperate, or uncertain, no amount of words can save you. But if it is calm, grounded, and deliberate, silence becomes your ally. Think of presence as invisible gravity. The stronger it is, the more others adjust around it. You control this gravity through three elements: posture, pacing, and gaze. Posture communicates certainty. Stand tall, but not rigid. Shoulders open, chin steady, eyes relaxed. The moment your body fidgets, you leak insecurity. The room senses it instantly. Pacing dictates tempo. Move slowly. The man who moves fast looks rushed. The one who moves slow looks certain. And gaze determines direction. Look at people, not through them. Hold eye contact just long enough to anchor attention, then shift away at your pace, not theirs. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must appear composed at all times, even when the world burns around him. This appearance, this illusion of control, creates real control, because perception governs behavior. When people believe you cannot be shaken, they stop testing you. When they sense you cannot be rushed, they slow down to your rhythm. The untrained man tries to dominate through words. He interrupts, argues, insists, but this exposes his insecurity. The master dominates through silence. He lets others speak themselves into weakness. He observes patterns, motives, emotions, all while revealing nothing. By the time he finally speaks, he has already won, because he knows more about them than they know about him. Presence is power without performance. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists, demanding attention without asking for it. In every room, there are two types of people: those who chase attention and those who attract it. The first are forgettable, the second are unforgettable. If you want to control a room without speaking, start with your stillness. Silence is not empty, it's full of control. Every pause, every breath, every deliberate motion tells the room one thing: I am not here to impress you, I am here to command you. The man with presence doesn't overpower others. He makes them willingly adjust to his rhythm. He is not in a hurry. He does not compete for space. He simply occupies it fully, without apology. And in that quiet confidence, the room bends to him. Words are tools, but the more you use them, the duller they become. The weak man speaks to prove his worth. The powerful man speaks only to direct it. Restraint separates those who command from those who crave attention. Machiavelli knew that silence was not the absence of speech, it was the presence of control. Every time you speak, you reveal something: your emotions, your priorities, your fears. Most people speak to fill the air, afraid that silence will expose them. But the wise man uses silence as a weapon. He understands that the one who can stay quiet longest holds the upper hand. In any room, there is an unspoken tension between talkers and listeners. The talkers think they are leading, but the listeners are collecting information. The more others reveal, the more control you gain. Machiavelli advised rulers to be a great pretender and dissembler, to conceal intentions behind calm silence. When you speak sparingly, people fill the gaps with their imagination. They begin to interpret your quiet as intelligence, confidence, even danger. You haven't changed, only their perception has. Restraint creates mystery. Mystery creates leverage. When others don't know where you stand, they tread carefully. They watch their tone, their words, their movements. You control them without command. That is the essence of Machiavellian power, guiding outcomes without overtly asserting force. But restraint requires inner discipline. You must kill the urge to defend yourself, to correct every misunderstanding, to fill every silence. Most people fear being misread, but those who hold power embrace it. Misinterpretation works in their favor because it keeps others guessing, and uncertainty is fear disguised as curiosity. When people cannot predict you, they respect you. When they think they know you, they try to manage you. That's why the quiet man who rarely explains himself always commands attention. His silence forces others to project their insecurities, to reveal their motives, to expose their positions. He learns while they speak themselves into weakness. Restraint is not passivity, it is control under pressure. It is the ability to let tension hang without needing to break it. It is knowing that power grows in silence like fire in oxygen. When you can master the urge to overtalk, over-explain, or overreact, you gain an aura few can challenge. Machiavelli's prince never rushed to speak. He waited, measured, and spoke last. Because the last word is not about timing, it's about authority. The man who speaks first seeks validation. The man who speaks last defines the meaning. The next time you enter a room, test this power. Say less than necessary. When others demand your opinion, pause. Let the silence stretch until it becomes unbearable. You'll see it, the shift. They'll lean in, fidget, explain more, reveal more. They'll hand you control willingly, desperate to end the silence you created. That is the power of restraint, making the world speak while you listen, making others move while you remain still. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing everything with control. Most people equate movement with progress, but Machiavelli understood that chaos destroys authority. A ruler who reacts to every event appears weak. One who remains still in storms becomes untouchable. When you are still, you send a message. Nothing around me can shake me, and that message creates psychological gravity. In tense situations, people look for stability. They search for someone who seems unmoved. When they find him, they follow him. That is how silent authority begins, not with shouting, not with explanation, but with composure under pressure. Imagine a negotiation. One side is loud, animated, desperate to convince. The other side sits quietly, watching, breathing evenly, showing no emotion. Within minutes, the loud side grows anxious. They start talking faster, revealing too much, trying harder to win approval. The quiet side speaks little but chooses every word with precision. When the deal closes, the loud man feels relief. The quiet man leaves with control. Machiavelli would say, "This is the essence of command. The world expects reaction. When you don't give it, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability is a form of fear." People are unnerved by what they cannot read. They start managing themselves around you, avoiding confrontation, softening their tone, adjusting their pace. You lead them without moving. Stillness also protects your judgment. Every decision clouded by emotion is a weak one. When you pause before reacting, you create space for strategy. You begin to see layers, motives, power plays, unspoken intentions that the impulsive never notice. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors those who act deliberately, not those who move first. Stillness is how you buy that clarity. To master stillness, you must first control your breathing and body language. The body betrays what the face hides. The impatient foot tap, the twitch of the jaw, the restless glance, each leaks power. A calm body makes others question their own. Your stillness becomes a mirror that exposes their instability. You'll notice that the most dominant figures in any room are rarely the most expressive. They move slowly, speak deliberately, and never seem in a hurry. Their silence creates tension. Their pauses command attention. When they finally act, everyone notices, because rarity multiplies impact. Stillness is also emotional armor. It makes insults irrelevant, praise meaningless, chaos invisible. When you are calm in conflict, those who feed on drama starve. They lose their weapon, the ability to provoke you. Machiavelli believed this kind of restraint separated rulers from servants. A servant reacts, a ruler decides when to act. The world will try to pull reactions out of you. It will tempt you with arguments, distractions, provocations. Every time you refuse, you rise. Every time you stay composed, you remind them you cannot be moved. Stillness is not the absence of energy, it's the mastery of it. The man who controls his motion controls his emotion. The one who can pause when others panic becomes the anchor everyone else leans on. And once they depend on your calm, they obey it. The most dangerous weapon in a silent man's arsenal is his gaze. Machiavelli understood that power does not just reside in words or action, it radiates through attention. Where you look, how long you hold, and when you choose not to look, can shift an entire room's balance. Eyes reveal what the mouth hides. They expose weakness, desperation, and deceit faster than speech ever can. But the master uses his gaze like a blade, controlled, sharp, and precise. He knows that attention is currency, and whoever controls where it flows controls perception. Most people scatter their gaze. They dart between faces, seeking approval, trying to be liked. Every movement betrays need. The powerful man does not look around for acknowledgement. He grants it. He understands that attention given too freely is value wasted. By withholding it, he forces others to compete for it. And when they compete for your gaze, they have already surrendered power. There's a science to eye contact. Hold it too long and it becomes aggression. Avoid it and you seem weak. But hold it with calm steadiness, long enough to signal awareness, short enough to remain unreadable, and you create uncertainty. They cannot tell if you approve or judge, if you are amused or calculating. That uncertainty breeds respect, even fear. In Machiavelli's world, rulers use this technique to unsettle ambassadors, soldiers, and rivals. A prince who could hold his gaze without flinching projected an image of control beyond his words. It wasn't dominance through intimidation, it was psychological leadership through composure. People trust what feels immovable. Your eyes, when still, give the illusion of absolute certainty. Learn to observe without reacting. When someone tries to provoke you, meet their eyes, but don't flinch, don't blink rapidly, don't break. Let your calmness outlast their confidence. Silence between two people is a battlefield, and the one who breaks eye contact first admits defeat. They might laugh, talk, gesture to recover, but deep down, they'll remember the moment they looked away first. But the true master doesn't use his gaze only to dominate. He uses it to study. Every flicker of the eye, every subtle dilation, every nervous glance is data. When people speak, their words hide, their eyes confess. Machiavelli taught that to rule others, one must understand them better than they understand themselves. Your eyes are not just tools of intimidation, they are instruments of intelligence gathering. A Machiavellian gaze is never empty. It's deliberate, calculated, aware. When you look at someone, they should feel both seen and examined. They should sense that you notice what others overlook: the lie behind the compliment, the hesitation behind the confidence, the fear behind the smile. In a room full of noise, eyes are the only language everyone understands. When you master this language, you won't need to interrupt, argue, or prove yourself. The eyes will do it for you. A single calm glance can silence an opponent, direct an ally, or make a crowd hesitate. The secret is simple. Speak less with your mouth, more with your presence. Your gaze, steady and grounded, tells the world what kind of man you are. The kind who doesn't chase attention. He commands it. Every room has an invisible current of tension. The weak try to escape it. The powerful learn to create it. Machiavelli understood that authority is not declared, it's felt. And nothing makes people feel your presence more than controlled discomfort. Tension is not chaos. It is pressure precise, intentional, and strategic. It's the pause before the answer, the silence after the question, the calm that makes others uneasy because they cannot read your thoughts. Most people rush to relieve that pressure. They talk too fast, explain too much, fill every quiet space because they can't handle the weight of uncertainty. The Machiavellian mind thrives in that space. When you withhold reactions, people grow anxious. They start guessing. They interpret every gesture, every pause, every glance. You make them work for meaning, and the more they work, the more control you gain. Machiavelli advised leaders to let others speak freely while they remained guarded. He understood that the man who breaks silence first always loses the frame of power. The secret is in timing. You don't create tension by forcing it. You create it by holding still when everyone expects you to move. When someone asks you a question, don't answer immediately. Let the silence stretch. Let them feel your awareness, your patience. That pause tells them something words never could. You are in control of your response. Therefore, you are in control of the situation. Leaders, negotiators, and strategists throughout history have used this technique to dominate rooms. Julius Caesar, for instance, was known for his deliberate pauses before addressing his army or his enemies. He let silence work for him, amplifying every word that followed. When you do the same, your voice gains weight because people have already surrendered their attention before you even speak. Tension is also emotional leverage. When you stop rushing to ease other people's discomfort, you begin to notice how easily they reveal themselves under pressure. They will talk more, justify themselves, confess weaknesses, or offer solutions you didn't even ask for, all because they cannot endure what you can silence. This is not cruelty, it's control. The ability to manage the emotional temperature of a room is a higher form of leadership than charisma or charm. Anyone can speak well, few can make silence do their bidding. The art of tension is a psychological mirror. It reflects strength without aggression, confidence without arrogance. You don't need to intimidate anyone directly, your calm indifference does it for you. When others sense you are unaffected by their tone, their words, or their attempts to provoke you, they recalibrate. They start treating you with caution, even deference. And here lies the paradox. The quieter you become, the louder your influence grows. Because in a world addicted to noise, the man who can sit in silence is terrifying. He doesn't seek approval or react to emotion. He observes. He waits. He lets the room shape itself around his stillness, until everyone realizes he was leading it all along. To master this art, practice discomfort. Hold pauses longer than feels natural. Let others speak into your silence. Watch them reveal their insecurities while you give nothing away. Because once you can control the tension, you control the room and everyone in it. People may not remember what you say, but they always remember how they felt around you. And in every room, emotions ripple outward from the most composed person present. The man who remains calm when others lose control becomes the anchor everyone unconsciously gravitates toward. That is the aura of composure, the invisible authority Machiavelli revered. Composure isn't natural, it's engineered. It's built through discipline, self-awareness, and the ability to suppress every unnecessary reaction. The average man believes composure is a temperament, something you're born with. He's wrong. It's a weapon forged in silence, sharpened through discomfort, and maintained by restraint. Machiavelli observed that those who panic first lose everything. A prince who changes tone with every rumor, every insult, or every setback teaches his subjects that he can be swayed. Once that perception sets in, his enemies no longer need to fight him, they only need to agitate him. But the calm ruler, the one who seems unmoved by threat or praise, becomes a mystery. People fear what they cannot read and respect what they cannot shake. Composure is not the denial of emotion, it's the control of display. Anger, fear, and pride all have their uses, but the master decides when to show them. Most people let the world pull their strings. A single insult ruins their day, a single compliment inflates their ego. They are slaves to reaction. The Machiavellian mind remains steady. He absorbs chaos without leaking any of it back. Observe how the world responds to those who remain calm in crisis. Crowds instinctively turn to them for guidance. Colleagues seek their approval. Rivals hesitate to attack. Not because these people speak louder or possess more resources, but because they project stability, a rare commodity in a frantic age. Composure becomes power because it is so uncommon. To cultivate it, you must first train your body to follow your mind. When tension rises, breathe slower. When anger flares, delay movement. The body's stillness sends a message to the brain. I am not threatened. That signal reshapes your entire presence. Others feel it before they can explain it. Next, learn emotional detachment. View events as data, not drama. Every insult, every challenge, every setback. These are not personal attacks. They are tests of control. You don't win by reacting. You win by staying centered while others spiral. Machiavelli would call this reason over passion, the cold clarity that separates the ruler from the ruled. Finally, understand that composure isn't weakness, it's dominance disguised as peace. When you can remain calm under fire, you force others to confront their own volatility. They begin to doubt themselves while you seem unbothered, untouchable. The aura of composure is your shield and your sword. It attracts trust, disarms hostility, and turns uncertainty into advantage. Because in the end, people don't follow the loud, they follow the steady. The one who doesn't flinch, doesn't rush, doesn't need to prove anything. He stands still, and the world moves around him. Every word you speak has a cost. The more you spend, the cheaper your voice becomes. Machiavelli knew this truth long before psychology gave it a name. Authority decays through overexposure. The more you explain, the less power your words carry. The man who cannot resist the urge to fill silence ends up paying for his own insignificance. The powerful understand that speech must be economical. Each word must have purpose, weight, and timing. The average man believes talking more makes him sound knowledgeable. In reality, it makes him predictable. The fewer words you use, the more people lean in when you speak. Scarcity breeds value not only in markets, but in influence. Consider the great figures of history. Caesar, Napoleon, even modern leaders of business and war, they spoke sparingly but decisively. Their words were few, but every one was deliberate. They left space for tension, allowing silence to frame their authority. People feared disappointing them because their approval was rare, and when they finally spoke, it felt like revelation. The Machiavellian rule of speech is simple. Never speak to be heard, speak to be obeyed. Talking for attention is weakness. Talking for control is strategy. When you speak, let your tone remain calm, your pace deliberate, your message concise. Never rush, never fill space with noise. Every unnecessary word is a leak in your power. This economy of words also protects you. The more you say, the more they can use against you. Every sentence gives others a map of your thoughts, your emotions, your motives. Silence denies them that access. It forces them to guess, to interpret, to imagine, and imagination always magnifies power. Machiavelli understood that mystery sustains authority better than explanation ever could. In negotiation, the one who speaks less always wins. The talkative man reveals his limits, his desperation, his insecurities. The quiet man listens, observes, calculates. When he finally responds, his words land like a verdict. They end discussion rather than invite more. That is the goal, not to argue, but to conclude. Even in daily interactions, you'll see this principle play out. The colleague who talks endlessly loses respect, no matter how smart he is. The friend who listens more than he speaks becomes trusted. The leader who saves his voice until it truly matters builds reputation. Restraint transforms communication into command. Your silence should not be emptiness, it should be architecture. Every pause, every withheld comment, every measured statement builds the illusion of control. The man who masters this doesn't just speak, he sets the rhythm of conversation. Others adjust their tone, their timing, even their posture to match his pace. Without realizing it, they've fallen under his tempo, his unspoken rule. So, before you speak, ask yourself, does this reveal or conceal? Does it command or confess? Because words are not harmless. They are the only tools that can either build your empire or destroy it from within. The Machiavellian mind treats speech as currency, silence as investment, and timing as profit. The one who learns this economy never wastes language, and because he doesn't waste language, he never wastes power.